The following video is for educational purposes only and does not substitute for professional medical advice. If you're seeking medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment, please consult a medical professional or healthcare provider. Hi friends. So for about 4 weeks now, I have been weaning myself off of those sedentary and empty indulgences that deplete dopamine. So this means reducing the amount of time that I spend looking at screens, such as TV and my phone. I've been foregoing those quick and easy packaged and processed foods. The biggest one that I've been ceasing to use is a substance that I will not name because YouTube doesn't like me talking about it, and I know this because in my last video I actually talked about it, but the original video that I uploaded, YouTube put a restriction on it and made it 18 plus. So I edited things, kind of reposted it, took that out, but I think it's important for me to mention it here. A hint that I'll give is that it's a green herb that's legal in Canada, and I've been using it for about 7 years to help with various health ailments, and it really did its job. But when the medicine had finished its work, I didn't see a need to let it go. But now I do, because it's causing me to engage in those exact activities that I'm trying to wean myself away from. So how has it been for me since suspending the use of these sedentary, dopamine depleting distractions? Well, say the first few weeks were great. I had more energy, I had increased clarity, my focus improved, my baseline happiness increased, my exercise output increased, I was eating the right foods, I was no longer succumbing to that infamous phenomenon known as munchies, and I had tons of motivation and extra time to use. It's a self-portrait. Me doing one of my favorite activities. Well, used to be a favorite. I mean, I don't do that anymore. Yeah, that was the first few weeks, but then something rather unexpected began to occur. I started to feel unusually tired. I didn't have the same level of energy as I did before. I had this general feeling of blah. And I was even feeling a bit irritable. Oh, son of a... I had some brain fog. And the interest in my hobbies just started to diminish. So why? Like, those are the exact things that I'm trying to improve. I'm doing all the things that I should be doing. So why am I back here? What the hell is going on? So for me, determined to continue on this journey of healing the brain and my journey of self-mastery, I began to do some research. And what I learned is that what I've been experiencing is to be expected. And I think it's a big reason why so many of us struggle to kick out old habits that we know are not good for us and trying to establish new ones. What I learned is that I flatlined. It's also known as PAWS, Post Acute Withdrawal Syndrome. Now, the reason this happens, from what I've been learning, is that the brain is readjusting its neurochemistry and restoring balance. For me, I had many years of overstimulating my reward circuitry, and doing so had its toll on me. My neurons were hungry for dopamine that it was used to getting, and after removing those things of empty stimulation, I was left feeling empty. This is what healing the brain looks like. Good news is that a flatline is temporary. So after a few days of just embracing the suck, the fog began to lift, the craving started to cease, and life just began to sparkle again. Now, something I noticed, and also from what I've been learning, is that flatlines do come back in waves, and the first few months are gonna be the worst, and I can already see the truth in that. But thankfully over time, the frequency and intensity of flatlines will decrease, and it's really just dependent on my own neurochemistry and how well I'm able to just embrace this journey, to stick on it, to stick to this path. So the more that I researched the suckiness of flatlines, I began to learn that there is something I can do about it. In fact, there's a lot I can do about it, and boy, oh boy, does it work. So what did I discover that naturally raises dopamine, stimulates the mind and the body, and maximizes brain health? Well, there's a number of things I learned, and the one that I'm applying right now is using supplements, herbs, and even fungus that are designed to increase dopamine, resensitize and protect dopaminergic neurons, and also to give a boost to my energy and motivation to help kick myself out of a flatline. Now, to get there requires first an optimal foundation to build upon. So for me, that is eating right, so that the body has the proper amount and the right amount of nutrients that is needed for building neurotransmitters like dopamine. Also, getting enough sleep is a big one, just so the brain is able to recharge and rebuild. I think sleep is probably the most important for healing the brain. And also just daily exercise. And I mean, there's endless studies out there proving how exercise is beneficial for every system of the body. So with this foundation, having the necessary stability and strength that is necessary, I was able to add in supplements like L-tyrosine. L-tyrosine is a precursor that supplies the brain with raw materials that are necessary for building dopamine. Now, I'm not going to go too heavy into the science on these. There's a lot of material online that can do a better job of explaining it than me. But I will say the results were immediate. When I was at the flattest part of my flatline, when I was ready to just throw in the towel and suckle on those agonists that are surely to give me that dopamine that I'm craving, I popped open a new bottle of L-tyrosine. And the results were, well, they weren't immediate, but after about 1 or 2 hours, I start to feel a surge of energy and motivation return. And my dreams were weirdly intense for a while, but that subsided after a few days. Now I'm continuing to take L-tyrosine, and I'm doing so about 1 or 2 times a day, morning, before dinner, and it's still doing its job. And I don't plan to be taking it in the long term. It's just until I'm able to not be so weighed down by flatlines like I am right now. So after a few days of just getting familiar with the effects of L-tyrosine, what it's doing to me, I began taking an herb called Korean red ginseng. Now this herb protects dopaminergic neurons. It also increases energy and testosterone, and provides the body with just more fire to work with, making it easier to just get things done. And I will say about red ginseng is it did kind of create this glow in me. Like, I felt this warmth when using it, and my workouts definitely improved. There was a lot more output there, and I just had a more sustaining and lasting energy throughout the day. Now the latest addition is something I've been using for close to a week now, is cordyceps. But with cordyceps, in relation to dopamine, my neurotransmitters, my brain health, it helps to increase an enzyme called tyrosine hydroxylase, which converts L-tyrosine to L-dopa. And L-dopa is then converted directly to dopamine. Now I'm getting sciencey on this. Cordyceps also help to upregulate the dopaminergic system, making us more responsive to dopamine. It also shows promise of neuroprotection. Now there's a whole list of other things that cordyceps provide that you can find online. There's great benefits to using this beyond just the intention of healing the brain. Honestly, cordyceps, they sound like a wonder shroom, and I'm still kind of monitoring what the benefits are. So I feel like the benefits from it I won't really notice until some more time passes. It's also challenging to know exactly what it's doing with all the other stuff I'm taking, but it's something that looks very promising. I've heard many good things about cordyceps, and I think even just for the health of the whole body, I think there's benefits to using it. So these are the supplements side of things that I'm using to help give me a boost in healing the brain and helping me to continue on this journey of self-mastery. But there's also more that I can do. There is more things that I can do beyond even supplements that can help me with not just healing the brain, but also healing the body and even healing the soul. And these are things I'm going to share in my next video over the coming weeks. So friends, thank you for taking the time to listen to me talk about my flatlines, what that experience is like, what to expect when going through it, and having that confidence in knowing that it is temporary. And then the supplements, these things that I'm taking, L-tyrosine, Korean red ginseng, and cordyceps, these are just 3 of those things that I'm currently using to aid me in healing the brain and helping me with these flatlines when they do occur. And there's far more things that I'll be taking over time that I'll be sharing with you as I continue to experiment with these. So thank you again for taking the time to listen to me on this. If you enjoyed this video, please feel free to hit that like button. And if you want to continue watching me on this journey I'm on and healing the brain and restoring my body to the state that I know it can be, and just really living the best life ever, please subscribe. Until next time, friends. I was supposed to get angry at it, and I just flattened it normally. I'm trying to be irritated, and it's not working. So be it.